it's interesting, my evolution of becoming an entrepreneur and 20 months in and realizing that I really never fit in the jewelry business. And yet the jewelry business really saved my life. And I don't mean it on a dramatic level, but truthfully, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And when I was 21, I remember thinking, I hope I make it to 30, and that was really one of my goals, because life was really turbulent when I started the jewelry business. And right after I started, 9/11 happened, and it just really felt back then that the world was coming to an end, and there were so many uncertain things, and it was so terrifying. And then here I am, 41, and I worked at 3 different jewelry stores, and it's just been such a pleasure to kind of learn about jewelry in their lens and their worldview and their take on jewelry, but never really feeling like I identified with it. And I remember I'm wearing my ring, my first ring that I bought myself. And it just makes me smile. And I like to just take a moment to smile, because when I bought it, I was when I saw it, and I was I know I have to buy this. And, 23-year-old Gina was like, can I buy my own jewelry? Is that weird? I'm in the jewelry business, so I can buy my own jewelry. I remember specifically thinking, because I'm in the jewelry business, because back then it was just who bought that for you? And did your mom get that? Do you have a husband? Do you have a boyfriend? Questions like that I got all the time because I worked in jewelry. But I remember buying this, and now that I've had it for 17 years, I just look back and I just think, I bought this for $1,400, and that's a lot of money. But to be able to enjoy it for almost 20 years, and still when I put it on, I just think about when I bought it and how I felt and who I was at the time and how far I've come. And it's the jewelry stories that I really love. And I talk about the cost of this because a lot of times people think that it's $5,000, and it's there's this value and this cost wrapped up with jewelry that I just don't identify with. A lot of the clients that I help, they really want a look and a feeling and a memory within their budget. And that's really where my area of expertise is that having something look more expensive than it actually cost, but still have the quality. The only thing I've had to do to this ring besides cleaning it on a regular basis, a weekly basis when I wear it, because I wore this every day for 9 years, because it was really one of 2 rings that I owned at the time. And it's the only thing I've had to do were I've had to retip a few of the prongs, which is normal with something that you wear every day. I don't sleep in it or do laundry or dishes or anything like that. But the reason I want to tell you this story is because jewelry is about us. We get to honor ourselves. And I've had so many women reach out to me and say that, they want to buy themselves jewelry. What budget should they stay in? What's acceptable for a woman to buy their own jewelry? And I'm here to say that whatever you're comfortable with, we can find something you love in that price point. And it's not all about the price point, but that's our guide. That's our boundary. If we walk into a jewelry store, yeah, it's really fun to try on things that are $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 just to see what they feel like. But the thing I've been finding is a lot of women that I've been helping, when they try it on, they're this is amazing, but I would never wear this. I would never feel comfortable having this kind of money on my hand. That's great. But you still get to enjoy the craftsmanship and the size, and that actually helps us figure out what it is that you really want in whatever price point you want to stay. And the reason I'm sharing this today is because I've really seen how I had a really turbulent life outside of jewelry, but when I was in jewelry, I was very immersed in the love and the milestones of couples and loved ones treating their loved ones to jewelry. And it really saved my life because I found a hope and a passion and a love. And I have just been following that guide ever since. And now that I have my own business and I curate these experiences for people and jewelry box revivals, going through all the memories of jewelry, all of the journey and the heartache and the pain of finding who I really am was completely worth it to be here in this exact moment where I can see my 23-year-old Gina who had no idea what she was going to do with her life, nor did I feel worthy of living. And to go from there and to have this piece of jewelry that I still get to enjoy, and I get to honor my journey. And that's one of the things I struggle with, is seeing how far I've come. Like, I'm always focused on like, okay, what do I need to work on today? And it just makes me emotional, because it's just like, wow, I would have never thought in a million years that I would build my dream business and get to help clients who also want to honor themselves and their loved ones and have meaningful pieces of jewelry, because you don't have to have a lot of jewelry. I mean, I have a lot of bracelets. Just for full transparency. But again, it's like, the thing to keep in mind for myself as well as things, it's like, it's about us. And it doesn't have to be expensive to be meaningful. And that's the desertion that I see a lot, is that when clients say, oh, don't look at my jewelry, it's not that expensive, I'm like, well, tell me the story. And then when they start telling the story, just the price and the worry about value and how much it costs just sheds away, and it's just a magical thing. And during this time of Black Lives Matter and making sure that we do our part to end systematic racism, and making sure that our voices is heard and we vote, even with everything going on, it's like, looking back at simple times and wearing jewelry that means something to us is really the part of my day that is like helping me get through that. And of course, having boundaries on how much social media I check, which I'm constantly working on, because it's like, our mental health matters. Our stories matter. We matter. We matter. We matter. And we, meaning those of us that are tenderhearted and empaths. And I think it wasn't until like 32, no, it was like 35, where I was like, I stopped feeling like I wasn't meant for this world. And I started to see my purpose. And every day it gets more and more clear. And I just want to send out this message of love and hope, and just share a little bit about how I got here and who I am and what it is that I do, because it is different and it's super terrifying, but in the best way, because all those shameful secrets just get to go. All the people that have, judged us or said things that were cruel, it was a reflection of them. And the more we can love ourselves, and the more we can see ourselves for who we are, and there's always things to work on, but just loving ourselves in the moment, that is what I'm looking forward to continuing to work on, because it is a journey every day. Every day I learn something new about myself and how I show up in the world, and how other people show up, and what it is I get from them. And for that, I am truly grateful. Thank you for letting me share with you my jewelry story. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I would love to know about your jewelry stories too.